At Boardroom Insiders, our mission is to bring you news and insight about the C-level executives setting priorities at your most important accounts. Earlier this year, we launched this video series to bring you updates about the quickly changing C-level priorities as executives managed their companies through multiple crises. So we thought, with the end of the year approaching, hard to believe, that this would be a good time to bring you 5 ways that 2020 has transformed the C-suite for the foreseeable future. Number 1, new crisis-driven priorities have shifted the makeup of the C-suite this year. So LinkedIn published an article last month that included analysis across its platform about how C-level roles have changed this year. And what they found is that while overall C-suite hiring was down about 20%, certain roles were really taking off. And at the top of the list is the Chief Diversity Officer, which has increased 84% so far in 2020. And if you consider what happened over the summer with the Black Lives Matter protests, and also the fact that employees need more support working at home, that makes a lot of sense. In second place was Chief Growth Officer, which grew about 42%. What all this tells us is that diversity, talent, and growth are all top priorities, and companies are investing in leaders to drive these new priorities. If you want to see the rest of that analysis, we've published a link to the article in the blog post that accompanies this video. Number 2, 2020 has ushered in a new kind of leadership that many believe is here to stay. So under COVID-19, when it comes to leadership, command and control is out, and empathy, communication, and listening are in. Purpose-driven, radically transparent leaders have thrived in 2020, getting rave reviews from their stakeholders, whether it's customers, partners, or most importantly, their employees. Number 3, C-suite leaders have driven new levels of change, agility, speed, innovation beyond what they ever thought possible. And they're hoping to hold on to this in 2021 and beyond. And it's worth taking a moment to consider how they were able to do this. And according to our analysis and what we've seen C-level leaders say, is that the magnitude of multiple crises in 2020 greatly increased their employees' tolerance for change. And this left an opening for C-suite leaders to get rid of systems and processes that were inefficient, suboptimal, or no longer working for them. And C-suite leaders who recognized this opportunity and acted early on have seen real business benefits from doing this. And now they're pondering how they can hold on to this new level of agility and ability to manage change as they move forward. Number 4, we have talked in this series about what we call the uncertainty gap. And what that means is that C-suite leaders have had to manage under unprecedented levels of uncertainty for an extended period of time. And uncertainty tends to be the enemy of business. But C-suite leaders have stepped up to this challenge and thrived in many cases under uncertainty, which has brought them new skill sets and new ways of coping with uncertainty. And this uncertainty gap is bound to continue into 2021. So look for more of the same next year. Now, one of the ways that CEOs have been able to manage through the uncertainty gap is by talking with their peers. And that leads us to the last item on our list of how 2020 has transformed the C-suite, which is that in 2020 has been kind of a golden age for CXO peer-to-peer networking and engagement. And C-suite leaders have really enjoyed this aspect of their time at crisis management. And they say they want to hold on to this silver lining from COVID-19. So throughout 2020, C-suite leaders have leaned on their peers, whether customers, partners, and even competitors, for insight, best practices, commiseration, collaboration, and even co-innovation, which has resulted in new products and offerings for customers. We saw this firsthand in our business as our customers sought new levels of C-level insight from us that they could then use to support their C-suite teams as they held record numbers of customer meetings and C-level events in 2020. So those are the 5 ways that we have seen 2020 transform the C-suite. I'll be back one more time before the end of the year with our predictions for 2021 with regards to C-level engagement. Until then, thank you for listening.